son of a bitch and fucking probably in, I don't know what that is there, B, probably B1. Hey guys, how's she going today? Well, this is going to be Machinery Tour Part 2. We're back at home here now, so it's colder than hell outside. So I'm not going to walk, we're going to just drive in the old truck here by everything, but that'll be pretty well good enough anyways. I mean, all of this equipment you're going to see running or again in other videos anyways, so we'll go for a little rip around the all the equipment we still use and a bunch of the stuff that's dead, like that old 1682 that gave up its undercarriage and most of it sold to create Frank, the Dozer. So yeah, we'll go for a drive here and I'll tell you a little bit about each thing and what it is and go from there. So we'll start right here with some of the more boring stuff. We got our old Farm King Swath roller. You pull that behind the swather when you're combining my ass, swathing canola or flax. It packs it down into the stubble so the wind doesn't blow it away. That's our, I think it's an old International or McCormick side delivery hay rake. Grandpa Henry's dad actually bought that, so it's been around for a while. This is a lay-on ground drive stone picker. It's just kind of back up. This is the main stone picker. It is a model 57 Rock-O-Matic. Huge stone picker, PTO drive. I haven't found too many rocks yet that it can't handle. We'll go in there after and look at what's in there. 1995 Case 8380 16-foot hay bine. You've seen it used a lot. Kai Farmer Man will be real familiar with these. This is my, what are you again? 92? 3, 4, somewhere in there. Or maybe it's a little older than that. Maybe it's 89, whatever. 3650 Case softcore baler. I haven't used it for a few years. It's real tired, but I want to pull it out this fall and make a couple softcore straw bales for my chickens. It's easier to pitchfork than the hardcore, but that used to be the main baler when Dad had all the cattle. Next is our, oh, what the hell's the model number on this again? Does it say? I can't even remember. I forget, 195, that's what it is. New Holland manure spreader. We used to have an old Gale that was about half the width and twice as tall, but we sold it because it's a fucking piece of garbage. Wore out completely, but this thing here is just unreal how awesome it is. It doesn't get much use anymore, maybe a couple loads a year of my chicken poop, but it's still here and the neighbor borrows it once in a while too, so. Allied chaff collector back in the 80s when it was real dry. I'll show you the other part that went with it, but that pulled behind the 915 and there's a big blower that blew all the chaff into it, and then when it would get full you'd pull a rope and a dump and make piles, and you'd go around with the 3-ton and like a big vacuum and it would suck it up and blow it into the 3-ton, and then you'd dump it in a pile in the yard and have that for feed on the years when there was little to no hay. You guys remember this? This is the latest edition here this fall I bought. Flexicoil model, or System 85 heavy harrow. Seen it get used a lot. It's 70 feet and works pretty damn awesome for what I paid for it. Ford L9000 8V71 Detroit twin turbo supercharged, and we saved that truck from getting crushed at the wreckers, so it's beyond repair, the truck itself, so don't worry about telling me to restore it. I know it looks cool as hell, but there's nothing left. The engine's there and kind of dismantled, but we saved it for the engine. But Dad's 90 GM late duty 3/4 ton. Motor is no good anymore, 350 in it, but I took the transmission out of it for my 92 here. Dad's old 6.2. Motor's no good anymore, but there it sits. We've got all the Packer wheels and stuff for the Burgo air seeder buried there, but I use 4-bar harrows on it. 56 GM 2-ton. It did run, but haven't used it for years and years and years. Collection of used tires, old cement mixer that doesn't work. Grandpa Gee's homemade bin crane that bolts into the bucket of the tractor, and you can lift a 1950 with it if you have to change sheets on it or what have you. And here's this big chaff blower that I was talking to you about. It's broken now. All the old rubber rotted off of it, and the big blower or suction part of it fell off, but that is actually a rem, and that's where they got the design for the grain vac actually. So that's the story with that. Heston 6400. Grandpa used to have a hay header on the front of it, but the hydro's shot in it. It's got the small slant 6 Chrysler in it, runs like a hot damn, and that makes the manifold glow red hot. So if anybody's looking for one, there it is. I mean, the hydro still works, but it leaks a 5-gallon pail of hydraulic oil in a day, so that's why she's retired now. Farmall H for sale if anyone's looking. One of 2 Massey 44s. This one's been here forever. I think they bought it close to new. There used to be 2 of them. And then Grandpa Gee, Dad's dad, who's passed away now, built the custom post pounder on the front of it, and that's fucking awesome. You can get in anywhere. Instead of trying to pull a goddamn trailer around behind you, you can drive it right up where you need to be. And of the 4 tires on it, that's a factory tire from 1947, and it still holds air. So I want to restore this thing. It's on the list. But various 6-inch versatile augers. Old D7 Cat, the motor's no good in anymore. An old buncher, kind of neat. Old wagon. Couple old trailers. You've seen that cement mixer. I never videoed it getting used because I wasn't here, but we used it this summer. Dad made a new cover for his sewer, but I want to make some cement bin floors with that. 8-foot lay-on bucket that the 5010 pushed the bottom out of the bucket when Dad was pushing trees. Another old wagon. Tank that Grandpa used to pull. I don't know if it was this one. Might have been this one for liquid fertilizer. And then I know we used the big yellow one over there, but we'll see it after. With the old Morris drills. The disc and the harrows, you've seen lots of that. Easy on 20-foot medium duty field disc. Dad can correct me in the comments section, but I think this is an old Ashland scraper. Forget how many yards, 10 or something along those lines, but Dad can correct me in the comments. But cable bowl dump, hydraulic push, no, cable push off. Yeah, cable. That's Dad's baby, that. I don't run it hardly at all. And then Frank, the bulldozer, made from a 1682. The blade from that old Cat. Another blade on each side so it can carry a little bit more. Axle from 1682 and 6,000 flexi-coil air seeder hitch and cylinders. And I'll show you what's left of that seeder. Is actually the one we bought and took the tank off of, and that's the one we pull behind our 5000 right now. It's 60 foot, but it was totally foobarred. Everything was wore out, so we paid 5,000 bucks for it and the tank. Did a lot of work to the tank, but this thing's donated a lot of good parts for ours. So if anyone needs any shanks or anything for a 5,000, they got 60 feet worth of it here yet. Skidoo trailer, some of Dad's old cattle equipment that we still have. Auger that got flopped over in a windstorm. Neighbor's dually that he fucked the engine in. Actually, he didn't do it, the dealership did. They filled the motor with straight water and parked it outside in the winter time, so you can imagine how well that worked. 60-foot Herman finishing harrows. 70-foot Summers finishing harrows. Our 5000 Flexicoil with 3450 tank. 33 feet, that's the main drill. Our old Burgo 32 foot. That's the one that I seed my peas and soybeans with and pull with the 835. 895 pulls that one, 835 used to. Homemade sprayer that Grandpa Guy built and I used until I bought the 3430 spray coupe. And then this was the liquid fertilizer tank that he used in the end. Another old trailer, homemade header trailer. The 30-foot flat deck that we haul hay and everything else with. Parts, hay bind, go way back and see us bring it home. That frame there was actually where the box of the Freightliner came from. It used to be on there. Grandpa Henry's 36 foot, I believe. Case deep tiller. I've got 16-inch shovels on there. That's when I was pulling with the 4640 in the spring here. The 5020's Leon 707 loader. That's one we repainted and put all new bushings into. And then we've got our George White and Son snowblower over there, but we haven't needed it yet. An auger that I got for basically free but needs a lot of work, a Westfield. Another auger that I got for free and used a bunch of parts out of for the 10x60 that's at Grandpa's, you've seen in the first video. This is our main auger, 13x70 Westfield. And then one of our small truck loading augers here, HD 7x41 Secundiac. And then this is a PTO driven 7x51, I believe, Secundiac. So, that's a quick look at everything that's over here. So I'll show you the rest of what's in the pasture, and then the stuff up in the yard's gonna be part 3, I think. So I've got a set of old duals from the 700 Versatile. It had some oddball, really rotten tires on it, so I put those 30.5, 32 fat singles on it. I bought that cab from the 5020 that I got the engine for the 5010 from. It's got a Rops Barn canopy in it. Ooh, there's my finger. So I'm going to take all the junky, shitty old cab off of it, and I want to put a canopy on the 5020. I think would look kind of cool. This is my parts 1682. It's been pretty well stripped down for Frank, but all I've taken from it for my 1682, the combine I use, has been the gearbox. A Ford in its natural habitat, dead in the pasture. That's Grandpa Henry's. The transmission piled up in it. It's only got 4th gear left. It's a standard, and the only reason it'll stay in 4th, you got to hold it in gear or it'll bounce out. So we're gonna look into that for him here. Mighty Mo, the 85 GM 1-ton we got going in a video. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. I actually gave it to Rob as partial payment for the work he'd done for me. He needed a good farm truck, so we rebuilt the carb and everything for it, but we got to get it up in the shop and do a bunch of work to it yet too, so. But anyway, and then there's the horse and her hay bales, so I suppose that's kind of a good video there, looking at all the just the implements and the air seeders, I guess. And part 3, which I'm going to go video right now, but you guys are going to have to wait a couple days to see, will be all of the tractors that are here, all of the trucks that are here, the swathers, the sprayer, and I'll look at the Grandpa Guy's old blue 1-ton, and we'll look at my farm truck here. You guys always see the inside of, but not too much else of. And yeah, and Bundy, fucking don't forget about old Bundy, my $750 semi. Look at that baby. Woo-wee! Water truck, the 700. But anyway, I guess hopefully you liked it. Stick around for part 3, coming to you real soon. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll talk to all you guys in the next one.